Action.
Hey everybody out there, welcome to the show. This week we took a 3-month break, but we are back. Really proud that our first episode back contains an iconic voice from a great live band. This one meant a lot to us. This is episode 139 of In It to Spin It with Ed Kowalczyk. Live's album Throwing Copper was recorded at Pachyderm Studios in Minnesota. Babes In Toyland are from Minnesota. They recorded their awesome album Fontanelle. Also, In Utero was recorded there earlier in the year before Live went into the studio. There she is on vinyl. It's got some pretty unique artwork, right? Everybody knows the babies, the bones, this angel. Babes In Toyland have been on the show and tell a really amazing story how they took Kurt and Krist to the Mall of America in Minnesota and picked out all this stuff. So this is the origin story from Babes In Toyland of the In Utero artwork.
And I mean, it was just something that happened. I took Chris and Kurt to the Mall of America, which is I guess the Canadians that own the mall in North America, in Canada. And then there's one in Bloomington, Minnesota. It's just a few miles from my house, and a little ways from Pachyderm, but they just wanted, Dave was laying down the drum tracks, and so let's go to Mall of America. And Steve Albini was like, "Oh, you can't take them to Mall of America. They're gonna get mauled. They're gonna get mobbed." And I was just like, rolled my eyeballs and like, "Oh, whatever." No, they aren't. It's just a bunch of suburban people that don't know anything about anything.
So they didn't get mobbed?
No, they did not. In fact, one person came up to me because I had my dreadlocks at the time and like, "Oh, you're in Babes In Toyland," and I was like, "Yep."
Nice.
And they were standing next to me, and that was it.
Oh. You're like, ha!
But there was a really great story that was my favorite story called Bare Bones, and I knew that Kurt would really love it. And so I said, "I gotta take you to the store," and and so they're like, "Hey, let's go," because I stayed down there with them for a few days at Pachyderm, and because I didn't live like 30 miles away. And so we went to the mall and we went to Bare Bones, and he got like it was just like medical fetuses, like the stuff that they have in the science rooms, and like you buy for classrooms and science rooms and all that stuff. And so he just was like, "I want that, I want that, I want that." And so he ordered all of this stuff. And some of it they didn't even have there, but they had one, but you had to order it and then they shipped it to you or whatever. So no one knew who he was until he wrote a check. And he told me later on, like, I don't know, a few months later, he goes, "Lori, guess what?" I go, "What?" Because he spent over $4,000. And back in whatever year that was, 93,
I guess. The album came out. So
that was 93. That was
change.
That was 22 years ago. And I mean now would probably be like $7,000 or $8,000,
for a little company to.
But he wrote a check, and he said, he said they never cashed it because it was a check from Kurt Cobain.
That's just
they never cashed it, so he got all that stuff for free. But it's like all the things up from a heart-shaped box, like
the video and stuff.
I didn't know it until.
There's a shout out in the liner notes.
Pardon me?
I wonder if there's a shout out to Bare Bones in the liner notes. That would be interesting.
I don't know.
We'll
I
have
never
to check
looked.
it out.
And then the cover of
is from that what he bought from there too.
That's amazing.
So cool.
And so it's pretty. It is, and I don't think it was planned. It was like I bought it. He just bought it because he liked it, and then it just how
it affected
brain
so
works.
much.
Okay. Actually, he used it for painting inspiration too. I would imagine.
Oh yeah. Nice. Well, it's so great to hear stories from you guys and to meet you. It's a real pleasure. I know Fontanelle. So during the interview, I pull out a couple pieces of vinyl from Ed's past. We'll have a quick look at those before we get to the chat. We met up with him in the empty theater of the Hard Rock Vancouver. We talk about his early career and the creation of Throwing Copper. Check it out. So I brought these records just as a sort of visual aid. I thought Ed might get a kick out of it. This is the Selling the Drama Advanced College Radio promotional 10-inch, just a plain sticker on the back. Selling the Drama led the charge for Throwing Copper on nice blue vinyl. This is their 97 album, Secret Samadhi, double white. I really love this album. It's such a great listen. If you don't know this one, check it out. Let's check in with Ed. Okay, ready?
Yep. Action.
Hey everybody out there, we are thrilled to be sitting here with a man with an instantly recognizable voice, Ed Kowalczyk. Say hi to everybody out there.
Hi there,
Thank you so much for being
pleasure.
Yeah, it's great. How did we find you this day? You played Nanaimo last night?
We did.
Good show?
Yeah, across the ferry, with the ferry today,
Yeah.
across the water there, so yeah, it was great last night.
Cool. Good scenery, BC scenery there?
Yeah, it was nice.
Okay, like I said, this is a huge treat, big thrill. Been listening to you for a lot of years, so big fan. We're catching up with you on the 20th anniversary tour of the Monster album that is Throwing Copper. We're going on the 22nd year of the anniversary tour.
Yeah, it's just started on, being a 20th anniversary, but yeah, the demand worldwide has been so great that we just keep going with it.
It's fantastic for you. It gives us a chance to be nostalgic for maybe a second here. I'd love to hear about the rise. I mean, it must have been a whirlwind, right? So,
sure.
Mental Jewelry came out in...
92.
Was it 92? Okay.
It was January 92 the full album came out.
Okay, I thought it was right on New Year's Eve. I thought that was an interesting release.
Yeah,
date.
it was. Well, there was an EP before it called 4 Songs, which was just a spattering of
a
few of the songs
as
from
live
the album.
Or as public
yeah,
affection?
yeah, as live.
Okay.
And then the album followed right after that.
Yeah. Okay. So it's a good album. It comes out, it enters the charts, and then you guys take some time. It's time to write the album and record songs that would be Throwing Copper. So, what was your mindset in that? I mean, it would be your second or third album you've already written, and do you feel like, as a writer, what were you going in mindset for?
Well, it's Mental Jewelry did really well. Exceeded my expectations. You know, it was really successful in the States and got our name out there, and then it's so true that you have your whole life to make your first album, and then 6 months to make the second one. You know, and so it was a real transitionary moment because it was kind of a blank slate after that. It's like, okay, well, what do we do now? And I remember a few things happened, where I really discovered guitars, and amps and big guitar sounds with a buddy of mine named Kurt in Pennsylvania, and he was in a band called Lilies, and he turned me on to Sugar and Bob Moldswork and Dinosaur Jr. and of course Nirvana was exploding, and even though I don't think the songwriting dynamic evolved a little bit, was really sort of, that was kind of on a pathway that remained pretty constant. It was the sonic discoveries of being able to turn up the amp to here and check out what this does to the dynamic of a song like I Alone or whatever. And
fills up the track
and
a
so
little more.
that was a real absolutely, that was that sort of wall of guitar kind of just thing was just like, okay, this is I can use this to color this album. So that, and then just really honing in on my craft as a songwriter and as a lyricist, and saying, okay, well, what do I want to talk about now? Where's this headed? But again, it was a kind of blank slate, which was a little scary, but also really exciting because the time period itself was a really exciting time. There was plenty of great artists to inspire you, and they were all over the radio too, which was really unique.
Yeah, I want to touch on that a little in 1 second. At Pachyderm, you recorded the album there, right?
Yeah.
Speaking of Nirvana, where they did In Utero, Babes In Toyland did an amazing album there as well. Speak about maybe hearing those songs and the final mixes for the first time. Did you guys have any inkling that you were sitting on 3 massive singles that would go on? No? Was it like...
I remember feeling really, really good about the record.
Yeah.
And actually it's funny that, Lightning Crashes for me became such a big song because, it's 5.5 minutes long, and it was not really, it was sort of the anti-single, but it became what it was. But I think it says a lot about how, how the music scene was, and especially radio then was pretty open to new things.
Yeah.
Some would argue that, radio's never really that open, but they did have a moment there where there seemed to be a lot of originality of it.
Definitely.
But recorded at Pachyderm, tracked the record there, and then mixed it actually in a really wild, funny studio outside of it's in like Wisconsin. I would say it was outside of Milwaukee, Lake Geneva, Wisconsin. It was a studio that had been the recording studio at the old Playboy Resort and Golf Club.
Really?
That was there, but they had sold the resort, and so it was not functioning as a hotel and as a resort or a golf course, but the studio was still running.
So everything.
So we got a great deal.
Yeah.
But you had to walk through the lobby of the Playboy, deal to get there, and they had dumped all the sort of really ugly '70s furniture out into the lobby, and you kind of had to find your way in the dark through it. And then you'd open the door, and there was this great studio sitting there. Nice. It was pretty funny. But yeah, we recorded it there, and recorded it in Pachyderm and then mixed it in Lake Geneva.
Okay, and the lead single, I have here a copy. Don't know when the last time you saw one of these was, but promo advance for college radio, selling the drama.
That's a good one.
It's on blue vinyl.
Great.
Thought that'd be neat to show you.
That well.
And so that came out. The record came out in April. You guys play Woodstock in August.
Yeah.
That must have been a whirlwind. Talk a little bit about the the press and the media. Was the two other singles came out after your Woodstock performance?
Yeah.
So was that whole time just crazy blur? And did Woodstock propel you to the great heights of?
I would say it was definitely part of it.
Yeah,
It was
exposure.
You're right. Whirlwind was the word for sure. Selling the drama really just came out initially just to college radio.
Yeah.
And I remember thinking, if it could be a hit there, I'd be really happy because that's where all my bands were, all my favorite bands I had found out about, were on college radio. And then, of course, it did its thing at regular radio, pop radio, rock, whatever.
Yeah.
And then I Alone came out, and that really was out for a while, and we did, of course, we did Woodstock. That was a trip. Definitely the biggest show we'd ever done at that point.
Yeah, a couple 100,000 people.
Oh, yeah.
What do your kids react when they see their dad on stage performing to that many people?
Oh, I think my 4-year-old was watching. We did a Pink Pop concert not that long ago.
Right?
Yeah, with actually, it was Rolling Stones were that night, and I played with this big orchestra.
Yeah, I was watching that.
And I showed my 4-year-old, and she.
Yeah.
Like she couldn't. It's like it didn't compute.
Yeah.
Like what I was doing.
Seeing Dad up there.
Yeah.
Are they live fans?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're big fans.
Okay, and you touched on what was going on the radio with just a sheer amount of amazing vocalists. With frontmen emerging. You've got Cornell, Eddie Vedder, Weiland, Corgan, Shannon Hoon, yourself, Kurt, of course. Do you think that's something missing in rock and rock radio today, just those amazing voices, or is it just a testament to how special of a time that was in the 90s?
It's a little bit of both, maybe.
Yeah.
I think it's not. You can't take anything away from the fact that it was an amazing period for originality, and like you mentioned, all those guys. I mean, it's just. All so unique, and it's just cool perspectives and really interesting. But yeah, I would say on the other side, there's definitely a lack of. There seemed to set in a kind of homogenous feel.
I would
and I would say in the late
agree.
'90s, it started. I remember just thinking, wow, everything's kind of starting to sound the same here. So it's both,
Yeah. Okay. Do you have a favorite '90s album you still revisit to this day?
Oh man.
Anyone stick out?
I still love In Utero.
Yeah.
Nirvana. I mean, as much as I loved Nevermind, I felt like In Utero was just like such a beautifully recorded album. I still love that one.
Yeah, cool. Me too. I'm sure everyone does.
Yeah.
I got to touch on my favorite work of yours that I brought. Thought you'd like to see that one too.
Oh, great.
Double White Live, Secret Samadhi,
There you go.
97. So let's talk about maybe, this is the album that followed Throwing Copper.
Yeah.
How do you follow up an 8 million selling record, and maybe talk about the pressure of that?
It was an interesting, it was kind of, Secret Samadhi was really, I think now in hindsight, it was kind of a reaction to, wanting to not follow the rules of, okay. Well, first of all, I always came from a, my feeling about it was, I was inspired by bands like R.E.M. who were always about, like, we're not ever going to repeat ourselves. We're going to try to just make sure every record is its own unique experience. And I grew up listening to that type of music and those types of bands. So I was like, okay, well, whatever we can do, let's just make it, totally different or as different
because you've
as
been
possible.
playing those songs for so long. You've got this image you want to, and that's what I think. Lakini's Juice, the lead single, is another anti-single. It's very long,
big
very
strings.
strange video. Strings are along the whole album, so I thought that was
It definitely was, a push in a direction that fans love. Record company was frustrated, you know, that we didn't probably maybe follow the toe line a little bit straighter from.
Still sold 2 million. Though.
Yeah, I mean, my buddy Ken Wilber, I remember his quote was, "What kind of calculus of pain is this that, you know, a 2 million selling album could be considered a failure
That's
compared
exactly
to
what I was thinking.
8 million?" And you know, the fan, I think, you know, now that time has passed, it's really, it's such an amazing fan record. I mean, the fans are just like, okay, I love all this, but Secret Samadhi is my favorite. I've had so many people say that to me.
It's dark, edgy. It's cool lyrics too. I really like it. Let's move on to the current stuff. 2 solo albums under your belt. What's next for you? Another album coming?
Yeah. I'm a little off my year and a half schedule of new music because of the Throwing Copper tour. But I'm probably 6 or 7 songs into an album, a new solo album. So I'm hoping to get in the studio after this, actually, in April and May, and hopefully have something out towards the end of the year.
Okay, and are you working with any? I know you've worked with Peter Buck previous.
Yeah.
Is there more collaborations on this?
I'd love to work with Peter again. In fact, we talked about it, and you know, that's just a dream come true for me. That, you know, that he's on the record, and would love to do that again. One you know, the thing about our main thing about going solo, and just the whole period of, you know, that we're in music and everything, and with the internet and with everything that's going on, you know, it's just this sort of, you know, kind of, there's no rule book, you know, there never really was one, but there might have been one when the business was more, you know, concretized around certain things, you know. So it's a lot of fun. It's exciting. Okay,
push the boundaries. Okay, we'll let you get ready for the show. Thanks for talking. Do you have a pre-show ritual that you get down to? Or?
Oh man, no. I
laid back.
I just I tried to warm up some, and I always felt like that made me too tired vocally. I was like, why do you warm up? It doesn't make any sense.
Cool, man.
It's rock and roll.
Thank you so much for doing this. Big thrill. Yeah.
Thank you.
Cool.